If I do this, it will aggravate that person even more. Right. So be a silent accomplice. Right. And ignore the fact that while you're doing it, your ass is griped because you are going against your own integrity. You are going against what you know is right. And you are mad at yourself for dishonoring yourself. So it's much easier not to have to put forth the effort and the energy. It's much easier to get nebulously sweet and spiritual. Now, I know at one time or another all of you have felt the pull, the emotional pull of those who are addicted to their bad habits, of those who are addicted to their insistence upon doing what doesn't work, and who suffer in the process, and who seek consolation, who seek inspiration to feel better without having to change. And I know at one time or another you have felt the pull whether you're in the presence of that individual or not. When you know that in the night they are wailing within themselves and reaching out with all their might for someone or something that will inspire them without their having to change. If you don't understand the difference between the two kinds of requests for help, if you are unwilling to recognize sin where it is being embodied or practiced, you will not know what to do when you experience the pull, the emotional and mental pull. And you will be inclined, because of your kindness, to try to help and engage energetically in seeing the truth about them, in helping them. And because the help that's wanted is that which will relieve them without them having to change what causes their suffering, you will not find an exit point from the experience of the pull. And so I'm going to tell everyone a very spiritual response when that kind of a call comes and you say it in your mind. Fuck off. I use the word very purposely because it's very difficult for anyone to misunderstand the meaning of those words. You must extend to them a clear message that you are not available for the invitation to an everlasting tug of war, an everlasting involvement of manipulation in which you are going to end up trying to extricate yourself because you do have enough common sense not to stay in it. You do not say it. Hopefully, you say it early enough that you do not end up saying it out of anger. But if you have to say it out of anger, say it with the force that comes with your anger. You say it so that it makes it utterly clear that you are not a good mark. You are not an available patsy. That seeking help that won't help is useless with you. When this happens, I would, in very practical terms, suggest to you that you not engage immediately after that dismissal, becoming conscious of the truth about them. In other words, do not go into prayer on their behalf. You stay in the clarity of the dismissal from your presence of that which presents itself as something it is not. That you are not available for an interaction of deceit. And know within yourself that when they're ready for change, you will be happy to interact with them. You must be willing to slam the door in the face of deceit, and then 5 minutes later, do not go to the door and open it up a crack and be curious to see if deceit is still waiting there for you. You dismiss them and stand in the substance of that dismissal, in the strength of that dismissal. Are you dismissing them? The real one that they are? No, you're dismissing deceit. And that which is identifying it itself entirely with deceit. And until the real one that is there who is employing deceit finds no payoff in the expression of deceit, the real one that's there will not show up at your door as a stray who really wants to change, who's hungry for change. I'm going to read the first paragraph that we were to cover tonight, to end with, and next week we will begin with it again. I am not going to go into an explanation of it. Having taught you to accept only loving thoughts in others, and to regard everything else as an appeal for help, He, the Holy Spirit, has taught you that fear is an appeal for help. This is what recognizing it really means. If you do not protect it, fear, by covering it up or calling it something else. He, the Holy Spirit, will reinterpret it. That is the ultimate value to you in learning to perceive attack as a call for love. We have learned surely that fear and attack are inevitably associated. If only attack produces fear, and if you see attack as the call for help that it is, the unreality of fear must dawn upon you. Mind you, once again, we are reading here about how the use you are putting your mind to and how you stay at the bottom line integrity of you, how you choose to go for it, whether attack is being used for the purpose of eliciting fear in you and causing you to be off balance and react, having lost your perspective. If only attack produces fear, and if you see attack as the call for help that it is, the unreality of fear must dawn upon you. For fear is a call for love, listen to this, in unconscious recognition of what has been denied. The fear that others express, fear as a means of controlling, is a call for love in unconscious recognition, where the person making the call for love, in unconscious recognition of what has been denied. The one calling for help employs fear, employs aggression, employs attack, in unconscious recognition of what has been denied. In other words, that one has arrived at a point where the something they are overlooking in themselves is registering with them enough to make them say, I don't deserve what I'm experiencing. But since they are still committed to it, their goals, they project the source of their emptiness out there and vent their feeling out there in their unwillingness to acknowledge that they are doing what doesn't work so that they might change. They hold on to their right to continue to do what they're doing, believing that they ought to be able to do it without suffering, and therefore what is causing their suffering can't be them, it must be you. It must be someone out there. And so when they extend it to you, when they direct their frustration out there, and it is really a call for love, this is when you must remember that a call for love is a call for intelligence. And this is when you must remember that if that one is committed to bad behavior that doesn't work, and they are getting pleasure and payoff in it, you cannot help. And you must shut the door as an expression of simple, utter intelligence, so that they find no payoff that continues to fuel their intent to proceed without changing. If someone is expressing fear as a result of an unconscious recognition within themselves of what they have been denying, do not relieve them of that unconscious recognition. With Pollyanna spirituality. And behave in a way that leaves them sitting clearly with what they are doing without being a distraction from it. That is responding to the call for love with love/intelligence. And you thereby will be being an active agent for change. I hope all of you have more of a desire to know the truth than to understand A Course in Miracles. You're here to serve truth, not a teaching. When you read the Course, don't just try to understand what it is saying. Desire to let it illuminate truth for you. And if you don't understand something in the Course, go to truth for the answer. Go to truth and say, what is the truth of what I'm reading here? Let the Course serve to point you to the truth. If you lost your copy of the Course, and you were in a place where you couldn't obtain another copy for 5 years, you wouldn't be lost, because truth is available to you directly. Keep it clear that whatever books you read, if they are to serve you well, will point you in the direction of truth so that you might rely on it more completely. And I will tell you something. Truth with a capital T, God's truth, the essential reality of each and everything, is right in the middle of you, at the bottom line integrity of you. That's what is left after you have abandoned attempting to fulfill concepts. I love you. I love each of you for the inherent capacity you have to be honest. I look forward to being with you next week.